Men who keep secrets from your partner, what kind of secrets and how lethal are these? I bought my wife's engagement ring from Amazon for around $20 a few years ago. I was poor at the time and couldn't afford an expensive ring, but I still wanted to propose. She still wears it to this day and the ring looks fantastic still with her wedding ring. She thinks it was a super expensive ring, but I've never told her the truth. She told me the other day that she doesn't care how much it cost, she loves it either way. Now that I'm making a significant amount of money, I'm wanting to surprise her with a better one. A family friend surprisingly passed away quite young. We came to find out she was diagnosed with terminal cancer 6 months prior and didn't tell a single person. Not her husband, not her mother, not a single person. Knowing her, she wanted to go out on her own terms. She could have gotten treatment and dragged it out, but she wanted to enjoy the time she had. If she had told people, she would have spent the last 6 months of her life living with the emotional impact her diagnosis had on her friends and family. There's a bunch of stuff I don't tell her for a bunch of reasons. Unnecessary stress, it's not my place to tell, people ask me not to tell her, etc. Few examples: my aunt is really sick, but I don't think it's my place to tell her. If my aunt wants her to know, I'll let her talk about it. We are raising my baby brother because his parents are pieces of shits. Some of the stuff they have told me makes my blood boil. She doesn't need to know any of that. I keep majority of the stressful stuff to myself and suffer in silence from the anxiety. I also never told her she farted in the nurse's face who sewed her up after giving birth for a solid 5 seconds, and it took every ounce of willpower I had to not crack a smile. The look on that poor nurse's face! The way her hair actually blew back! It was the single funniest thing I've ever witnessed, and I just let her enjoy the moment of holding our son. I worry that I'm just not good enough, and so my self-sabotage flares up and I'm like, I could just rob a 7-Eleven and get thrown in jail and then they'll be free to find someone else, or just go cheat with a rando and tell them and they'll break up with me and find someone better. But they are the best thing ever and recently approached me about banging whores while we do crime, and so I think I'm all good. I love hot, spicy food. She had almost no tolerance for chili and had a shamefully bland diet. Over a period of several months, I cooked regularly, and starting with a teeny tiny bit of chili, I slowly increased the amount in our food. One day, in a Thai restaurant, she was so thoroughly enjoying a dish and offered me a bite. It was so hot it blew my head off. Was literally a victim of my own success. My brother was murdered in March of this year. My girlfriend knows I've had drug problems in the past, and continue to use drugs on occasion. She doesn't know the extent. I've started doing heroin again after years of being clean. I hide drinking. I'm smoking meth, and doing coke. My benzo use is out of control, and I'll have to taper if I ever get the will to stop. I don't know what to do. Her brother got real drunk one night several years ago and kept going on about how hot our 14-year-old daughter was. Back then she was still just my wife's daughter and we were not married yet, but had since been legally adopted by me. He has since moved out of state and gotten married, and telling my wife would only cause pain and trouble in her family. My former wife legally still was at times very difficult to be honest with, because she would either be absolutely fine with the worst news you could possibly deliver or spend 2 days in bed crying when being told something inconsequential. So I didn't tell her a lot. I was up for redundancy once and I was the only person working. I didn't tell her. She snores like a pack of horny, angry bears of some sort of MMA orgy on the back of a semi-truck that is trying to downshift too soon. I tease her about that, of course, because I love her. The part I don't tell her is shit is my white noise at night. When she is gone for some reason and I have to sleep alone, I just can't as well. I go out with my best friend about 2 times a month. Almost every time I flirt with some girls. I don't touch them, kiss, never exchange number or personal information. I just like to know that I still can. I know nothing will never happen cause I'm not interested in anything more than talking, but I know she will never understand it. I have a savings account she doesn't know about. My wife sees money differently than I do. I like to save, she likes to spend. We have always talked about saving more, but then we do and she will spend it. So I just worked around the problem. I will eventually tell her, but that's a ways off. I'm not sure how she will take this. The original engagement ring I bought my wife was less than $600. I am currently saving up every month to give her money to buy a better ring by our 5th anniversary in September next year. If I throw everything I can at it and put away as much as I can every month, I should have about $5K to let her play with ring shopping. I used to hide money from my out of touch with reality wife, since we spent years going deeper into debt. By doing that, not only I dealt with our debt but saved enough to a down payment to our house. I'm not proud of that. And we solved those issues. AMD, she a whole different person today. And we have a house. The biggest secret I've kept from my wife is that sometimes when she goes away for work I wait until our son is asleep so I can sneak out and do nothing. Darling, I know you routinely read my comments here and I bet you thought you had found a good one. I can see your disappointed face now, you stalker. My ex and I used to party quite a bit. She loved the nose beers and I did too, but somewhere along the way I developed an oxy addiction and hid it out of shame for a couple years, which was lethal AF to the relationship. That was not a fun situation at all. Never again. Lol. Of the opinion that there is just too much of us for any one person to know. Could any unknown thing cause a relationship fracture for someone looking for an excuse? Sure. You're either with someone who loves, values and accepts you. Or you're not. Good luck, Hob. The mousetraps you set out didn't kill the mice, they were tortured all night and I had to kill them in the morning with a shovel. She has a very tender heart and never needs to know that. I'll steer her towards other solutions if we ever have mice again. I got hit by a car with my bike on my way to work. I am fine, no scratch. Bike wheel and steering wheel was all twister though. Sold my PC for quick cash and bought a new bike. She has no idea. I don't want her to worry about me every time I take my bike. Our finances are pretty much in order and we know what each of us spend, but sometimes I get paid through PayPal and use some of that money to buy microtransactions and games. Nothing crazy, but I guess she would hate that I spent 20 bucks on pixels. A lot of the stuff that happened when I was enlisted. She knows the majority. Funny anecdotes, great memories, some of the bad. The rest of it, I hold tight. If it becomes relevant in some way, I'll spill. Otherwise, I'll take it to my grave. All pretty lame TBH. I spend more money on magic cards than I let on, but the bills are paid and our daughter is safe and fed. I occasionally have lunch provided by work. BC, I'm over leftovers and fucking love Jack in the Box tacos. My wife killed our old cat by thinking she could give it baby aspirin when it was getting more arthritic to help its pain. She was told by someone this was okay. It was not okay. She loves animals tons, and this would ruin her. I thoroughly wash my tongue after brushing my teeth and tend to gag at times, which felt embarrassing when we met, so I'd never do it in front of her. Almost 9 years and 2 kids later I've yet to do it in front of her. Lol. I don't give a shit about 90 of the TV series we like to watch together. I go along with it because I like her getting into the shows and talking to me about it and having a distraction from the daily stresses. I try to be pacifist, but when I was 18 I put 3 people in the hospital when I was on holiday. My cousin who was a cop got me out of the situation due to it being self-defense. My wife always thinks I'm too soft. They used to be very big secrets. I've had to learn how to have healthy relationships and live my life in a truly honest way. I now don't have the ability to hide stuff like I used to. It feels really good. I sneak around eating McDonald's and other junk behind her back. She'd be disgusted if she knew how much junk food I eat every week. I have a problem. It's like an addiction, but it is only food. I buy running shoes. A lot of them. I have a closet with I think 15 boxes of them I haven't even put on yet. I will have to go Forrest Gump and run coast to coast a few times to use them all. I can't tell them how badly I'm doing anymore, how close to walking off the bridge I am, because every time I tell them I'm struggling I get hit with not every day can be a bad day. We have a date on Saturday that involves a lot of walking. I hurt my back working out this morning. She will not know until I collapse on the floor during this date. My GF is very freaky and promiscuous, yet I play like I have no clue when I really want to watch her hook up with someone else and watch her sex tapes with other men. Throwaway account. I found out that my finance slept with someone else during a rough point in our relationship. She didn't want to hurt me and I get it. So F. My wife tells me I have a young looking face. What she doesn't know is that I have Benjamin Button syndrome and that she will be changing my diapers one day. Secrets are always lethal between good friends. They are the only thing that will completely destroy a relationship. There is nothing else that will do that. It took me 22 years to tell my wife that I was bisexual. We're still together and doing great and have been together for 25 years. Every few days when dropping our kids off to daycare, I would get more than just a coffee at McDonald's. She wouldn't care. But I feel ashamed. I watch TV shows we like without her because she talks through them. Then, I watch them with her and act like I have no idea what's going on. I keep a list of songs I want to sing for her. She's seen the title of the note, but I made her click away before she saw the songs themselves. She won't ever admit this, when my wife is upstairs, and we agree to eat leftovers. I order DoorDash, shushing face. Anytime we take the kids to McDonald's I don't order anything because it's gross. I go to McDonald's at least once a week for lunch. I used to tell her how nice she looked in leather pants when in reality I hated them, but she liked them so much I was just polite. My wife is a borderline R0 COVID community member, so anywhere I go when she's not around I basically act like a normal person. Not a man, but I knocked his Goku figure over and it fell on concrete flooring. Not a scratch. I'm taking that to my grave. My attraction to her friends. One in particular really, sometimes worry I will let it slip when I'm drunk. It's harmless, that I don't like her enchiladas, but always tell her it's my favorite dish, and that she cooks better than mi abuelita. I, in fact, did not win most of my disc golf discs at tournaments. A lot, yes, but the entire closet's worth. My wife and I have been planning a life and I've been putting her through school and I may or may not be dying. She thinks I do not like giving oral. She is addicted to Nutella and I really could vom eating hazelnut flange. I don't want to have kids, and I'm afraid to be honest about it because I think it will ruin the relationship. I fantasize about her brutally sodomizing me against my will. It would not go over well if she found out. I'm more depressed than I let on. She is perfect but I don't want to put that on her. I have a therapist. A woman's heart is a deep ocean of secrets, old lady from Titanic. We all have secrets and that's okay. I was going to type something, then realized my girlfriend knows my Reddit account. Better that I don't. Our youngest isn't hers. This was very difficult to sell, but we're in a good place now, so why F it up?